What's up, you guys? I'm Rachel Demita, and welcome to the Courtside Club. Just when we thought this Sheryl Swoopes drama was gonna blow over, things just got so much messier.
All that hate don't get you nowhere. Haters always gonna get theirs, man. They always gonna get theirs. News has broken. We didn't even know. Y'all remember all the hate and jealousy that Sheryl Swoopes was kicking over there on Gil's Arena during Caitlin Clark's rookie year and even before her rookie season even started? Y'all remember all of that? They have both been fired.
ESPN just put Sheryl Swoopes back in the middle of the Caitlin Clark conversation, but fans noticed something else first. Her name started vanishing from broadcast lineups, and now the internet is calling it fired again.
When everybody else, they're quick to throw stats, right? It's like, oh, well, this is what she did. Like somebody's like, oh, Sheryl Swoopes only scored 34 points in the WNBA. Caitlin scored 35. So you can't use stats when it benefits you.
Let's be careful with words. I'm not saying there's been an official press release that says you're terminated. What I'm saying is, when teams began announcing their broadcast teams for the new season, people started pointing out that Swoopes wasn't there anymore.
They have both been fired from Underdog Sports, allegedly and according to Gilbert Arenas.
And the silence felt organized. Therefore, the real question isn't, did she get fired? The real question is, did the WNBA quietly decide it's done tolerating the Clark smear campaign and finally made an example out of a legend? Because if that's what's happening, it changes the rules for everybody. Stay to the end, because I'm going to give you the one signal that tells you whether this is a real industry blackout or just online noise. Now, here's what most people don't know. This isn't the first time Sheryl Swoopes has had a consequences finally arrived moment. Back in 2016, Loyola University Chicago investigated what players described as a toxic, volatile environment.
Loyola University basketball coach Sheryl Swoopes, she's under investigation, accused of mistreating players. One of them is speaking out this morning, telling us why she wanted to transfer.
Not tough coaching, not standards. Players described fear, humiliation, and emotional blow-ups that left people crying during halftime or sitting in silence during practice.
Loyola College basketball coach Sheryl Swoopes is being investigated this morning amid allegations that she mistreated players.
It was the environment she created. I was belittled, humiliated, made to feel extremely small.
The details matter because they show a pattern. When power is challenged, the response isn't calm leadership, it's pressure. It's control, it's volatility. But here's the key. That situation was behind closed doors. This time, it's in front of cameras. And the target isn't a roster, it's Caitlin Clark. While most of basketball was celebrating Clark's college run and her arrival as the engine of the Fever's new era, Swoopes kept repeating narratives that didn't just sound harsh, they sounded sloppy. She claimed Caitlin needed 5 years to break the scoring record, but Caitlin did it in 4 seasons.
That's for Caitlin, but you asked me about Caitlin. If you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that that player set it. Yeah, that'll go in the record books as Caitlin Clark is the all-time, whatever it is. I don't even know what the number is, but that's the way it'll be. And I don't think it should be.
She claimed Caitlin takes around 40 shots a game, but Caitlin averaged roughly 22.7 shots.
Caitlin Clark right now probably takes about 40 shots a game.
Here we go.
I know you like that.
Hell yeah.
Those aren't tiny mistakes. Those aren't "I was off by a little." Those are the kind of numbers you say when you're not checking facts, because facts aren't the point. The point is to make the viewer feel something. Selfish, overrated, not real. Therefore, the problem isn't criticism. Criticism is normal. The problem is when criticism turns into a pattern of misinformation that follows the same player every time her name comes up. And once that pattern locks in, the audience starts seeing it as personal. That's why this escalated beyond fans arguing online, because other voices stepped in. One of the loudest moments came when a major sports personality went off about how you can't talk about the Indiana Fever's success and accidentally leave Caitlin Clark out of the story. He basically said, "You know basketball too well for that to be an accident." But the bigger turning point was Nancy Lieberman. Because Lieberman didn't just disagree with Swoopes, she challenged her credibility. Lieberman reached out directly to correct the false stats and make the simplest point in sports media: facts matter. And according to Lieberman, that conversation didn't go well. She later said their relationship basically stopped.
I got off the treadmill and I called her as a friend and I said, you know, you can say whatever you want. You can have your own opinion about anybody, but you do have to get the statistics right. I mean, facts matter. And if you just get ahead of this and just say, hey, I made a mistake on my numbers, then this thing is over and everybody respects you for your opinion. And, you know, you might like Boston, I might like the Yankees. You know, it's okay to have difference of opinions. Well, she got upset with me on the phone, and I was like, Sheryl, you know, I'm not doing anything to hurt you. I'm just sharing. We're talking. And so our relationship it pretty much is not happening at this point.
Now pause here, because this is where the story flips. When fans say fired again, they're pointing to what happened next. The transcript you're working from claims the WNBA didn't just stop putting Swoopes on fever games. It claims she started getting pulled from everything. Teams began announcing broadcast teams for the new season, and her name kept getting left off. Then the Dallas Wings announced their broadcast team, and people noticed she wasn't there anymore. Not less airtime, not different assignments. Missing. And in the online world, missing equals punished. Therefore, the rumor became, the league made a quiet, league-wide decision to distance itself from her commentary. Again, I'm not saying we have an official statement that confirms a firing, but I am saying the pattern of omissions is exactly the kind of thing that makes fans go, oh, this isn't random. Especially because Nancy Lieberman, the same person who publicly defended Caitlyn and pushed back on the misinformation, kept her spot. That contrast is the whole story. The analyst who defended rising talent stays. The analyst who kept tearing down the biggest rising talent disappears. That's why people are calling it fired again, because it looks like the league chose a side. But here's where it gets even more revealing. Right after that absence became a talking point, Swoopes suddenly appeared on ESPN, sounding like a different person. Instead of dismissing Caitlyn, she praised the fever. Instead of downplaying her growth, she talked about how much stronger Caitlyn got in the off-season. Instead of treating Indiana like a cute story, she described them like legitimate contenders. It was a full 180. And that's why the internet didn't treat it like growth. They treated it like panic. Because the timing makes it feel like damage control. Therefore, the real headline isn't Swoopes is nicer now. The headline is, when consequences show up, the tone changes immediately. Now, where does Caitlin Clark explodes fit into this? Not as a screaming match, not as a rant, but as a reality. Her impact is now so big that it forces corrections. It forces accountability. It forces people to pick between attention and integrity. Caitlyn's presence has become the WNBA's most valuable product. Ticket demand, TV segments, social engagement, and the constant debate. Love her or hate her, she moves the entire machine. But the machine can't afford misinformation that poisons the product long term. That's why this matters for every player, every analyst, and every network. Because this isn't just about one legend being punished. It's a warning shot. If you build your platform on tearing down the league's biggest draw with shaky facts, you might not get a second chance. Now, let me give you the payoff I promised. Here's the one signal that tells you whether this is a real blackout or just internet exaggeration. Watch the official broadcast team announcements and season coverage week by week. If multiple teams keep releasing their lineups and her name keeps missing, and she doesn't appear across the league's broadcast rotation, that's not a coincidence. That's a pattern. But if she shows up again in a different role, on a different team's coverage, or in a rotating panel slot, then the fired again narrative was mostly fans connecting dots that weren't there. That's the tell. Not one clip, not one viral tweet. A repeated absence across official lineups. And if this blackout is real, here's what it means for the Fever. Indiana is no longer happy to be here. They've got a foundation, they've got momentum, and they're building the kind of roster that turns attention into wins. Therefore, the next stage of the Caitlin Clark era isn't about proving she belongs. It's about punishing everyone who tried to rewrite what we were all watching in real time. So I'll ask you the blunt question. Do you think Sheryl Swoopes deserves to be removed from broadcast if the league believes she was spreading misinformation? Yes or no? And if you're still watching, drop Facts Matter in the comments.